I'm here with inventor Brenda Schweder, and today we're talking all about art-inspired jewelry. This is a great project, Brenda.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to do, Katie, and thanks for having me back.
Of course.
So what I wanted to do was really pay homage, is that a word?
Yes.
Homage, to Joseph Cornell, and he's one of my big inspirations. And he did a lot of shadow boxes. He just loved to pick up things. He was actually a salesman in New York City. And so he'd go in his route, but he'd pick up little things, little findings and things like that, and incorporate them into shadow boxes.
How cool.
So, yeah. So I thought it would be fun to make a wire shadow box.
Yeah, I love
the
this
jig.
piece.
Yeah, thanks. So that one, Joseph used a lot of birds. He used balls. He used like little like, you know, pharmacy type items and that type of things. You'll see a lot of repeating motifs in his books, or the books that are written about him. He doesn't have books. And so I thought that would be fun for us just to kind of create a shadow box and to show everyone how they can do this in different sizes and shapes.
Okay, great.
Ready
What do we
to get
need to
started?
do? Yeah.
Okay. This is the, we often build, always do, build these pattern templates for whatever we're going to be doing. And so this is where we start. We lock this wire in right here. And I'm just going to figure out, here we're going to do the inner frame first, and we're going to work with 22 inches of 18 gauge steel. And I'm going to trap 3 inches going upward between this peg right here, and this is my swivel lock, so I've got that all set up right here. Okay, let me go ahead and pull and get my screwdriver here, and what I'm going to do is actually like lock this in place, and you'll see the wire responding. Boom. And so now we can go ahead. It's all set in there, Katie, and we're going to start our way down here. I like to kind of straighten things as I go. And here we're going to use this one. We're going to make like a figure 8 right around here. And I'm going to be careful because I don't want to scratch you. Big construction project going on here. And you can see this is my micro peg. I'm really trying to hold this in place because I'm really tapping this wire with this gauge right here. Here I've got a whole bunch of different places that I can put a little perch here. I can put a ball in there. It's basically kind of a seat once I push it down, or I can, as in the sample that we saw originally, I put a little vial in there. So we're just going to basically make a little stand, okay? Then I'm going to do this one the same, again, holding this guy here. Whoopsie, sometimes it comes off. We're just going to put it back on. There we go. And come back up here. What I'm doing here is I'm building these corners, and this is going to be what's going to give us our three dimensions. Okay, back up here, here, and here again, doing this at each corner. And then when I get to here, I'm going to loosen that swivel lock and just kind of swivel it away. And then I'm going to use that lead that 3-inch lead, go back here. Hopefully everyone can see kind of what I'm doing here, and bring it back here. And this is actually where I go ahead and just really, let me grab the right plier and do just one of those little twist ties here so that everything kind of goes together. Let me see if I get it in the right position. That would actually help. Okay, and just kind of hold that and get it as tight as possible.
So you're just twisting it together?
Yep, just like, you know, your bread ties. Just kind of like that.
Okay.
And then that's what kind of holds that one like that. And you'll see I'll do a different connection method on the next one.
Okay.
But here, this is basically what we've got. And so we're just going to take this. I like to keep everything on the same plane, Katie, because that can distort your shape. And I probably should have been doing that as I went along. But here we can do it now just to keep that going. Okay. Then we get our wire lifter. We've got a lot of tension here, so the wire lifter helps us get everything up and off the jig. And so what we're going to do after we get that done is that we're going to move this down like this, so you can kind of see that seat. The little stand. And then we're going to move each of our corner things, taking my flat nose pliers or my chain nose pliers, and grabbing it here and just kind of moving it in on a diagonal like that. And because we have this kind of built-in infinity, it's also kind of giving us some extra support there.
Nice.
Too. And also, we'll see in the end, this is where we're going to attach our chain.
Okay.
So just that we can just kind of put aside, and then we'll make that outer one. This one, I just wanted to give a little bit more dimension to it, kind of give it a little bit more definitive frame. And so we're really looking at here, this is the outer frame. We're using 18 inches of 16 gauge steel, and then 1 inch of trapping toward the top. So we're gonna just do a one inch lead here. I'm gonna kind of bend it between here, because I really don't need that one, and that way it's where I need it when I finish up. Okay, again, get that in there really nice and tight. There we go. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to go around the outsides of these 4 pegs right here, and we're going to build in. You can see I'm going really tight around those. And this way I'm building into some corners here.
And this will be the front of the frame that you attach?
The front of the frame, exactly, yes, the outer part. So you can see I'm just really taking it and building this around. Okay, this time I'm actually just going to take and remove this out altogether. I think it'll be easier for everyone to see what I'm doing, because what I'm going to be doing here, I mentioned that before, is doing that connection a little bit differently than that twist tie. This time I'm going to go around with both ends here.
Okay.
Okay, and you can do this with the pliers. Also, of course, you don't need to do this with steel wire, Katie. You can do this with whatever wire that you
Right, I know steel wire is your thing, though.
It is my thing, yes. But it's not everyone's thing, and it is a little harder for people to use, especially with hand issues.
It would probably be good to practice this in copper.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Or, yeah, any other kind of craft wire would work as well.
Okay.
So you can see kind of what we've got going on here. You would take it to here, and you do it and straighten everything up. And so, through the magic of television.
Yes.
Which means Brenda was up late last night.
Right.
And moved it over here and just built another kind of a little shadow box here for this guy. Again, Joseph, he worked with strings and things and birds and balls, and so you can see that's exactly where we put that little seat there.
I love the way you interpreted the art.
Thank you.
So how do we fasten the corners together?
The corners are now bound, okay? And so I just left one to do. And so let me get my little optics on here. Mess up the hair, and I'm just going to grab this, and that's where I don't need that part. I'm just binding. First, what we have to do is bind those 2 corners together, like what I just showed you when we made those 2, so they're together. But now I'm going to bind it to that corner piece right there.
Okay.
Okay, and I just work that through those 2 things, those 2 like little loops.
So you're just winding the top of the infinity to the loop that's on the front.
Yes, exactly.
Great.
I'm just going to grab that like that, and then you can go around
Keep
a couple
going.
times if you want.
Okay.
And I already kind of put this together. It was kind of a fun little project to do, and on the template as well here we have also like a paper cutout here that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Up here you can cut this whole thing out and you can use it as a viewfinder.
Oh.
To find the exact place you want, and then what you can do, or you could actually put it down and go around it. So there's a couple different ways that you can do that.
How do you attach the necklace part? Like if you wanted to put this on a chain?
What you do is that, because we have this built in with those infinity loops, we have built-in little things that are going to help us do that. And then here you can see with this one, I did it a little bit different than the one we originally showed, where I just put the paper on the back. This one I'm kind of coming up on the sides too, just to show a little bit different effect. And that's just done by kind of flipping it over here and then gluing down this little area here.
All right, well, thank you so much. And of course you could do this with any type of found object.
Absolutely, in any kind of frame or different sizes.
I love it. Thank you so much, Brenda.